Ranked number 6 in SmashPad's top 10 games of 2015 is The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky SC. Combined with Trails of Cold Steel on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita, this should be a breakout year for Nihon Falcom's Trails series. Now it's only a question of exposure. Whether you played the game in 2011 on the PSP or 2014 on the PC, The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky was a much-needed revitalization of a JRPG genre that spent much of the 7th generation looking all too uncomfortable in its own skin. Nihon Falcom's reboot of a reboot was nearly flawless, and yet, in the scope of the series to come, it was primarily just a world-building piece to set the stage for something even more ambitious. Trails in the Sky SC, then, is the payoff to the original's promise. With the world-building and character establishment work out of the way, SC takes full advantage of the opportunity to start off at a pace most games aren't afforded in this day and age, much less RPGs. More impressively, it does all this while expanding on all of its predecessor's strongest points, making for what our review proclaims is the Chrono Trigger of the 21st century. Brilliant writing, a well-expanded battle system, and a satisfying journey from start to finish makes Trails in the Sky SC good enough for 6th on our list of 2015's finest games. Hello everyone, thanks for continuing to watch. This is Danro Victorio, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky SC for both PC and PSP. We ranked the game 6th out of 10 in our top 10 games of 2015, and it is extremely deserving of this honor. So, first of all, I just want to thank Patrick Mifflin for providing us with the written commentary for the Game of the Year spiel earlier. Unfortunately, he couldn't be the one to make the video because of hardware problems, but hey, you know, that's what we're all here for. We're a team. So what you just saw was a bounty battle where we took out that scorpion earlier, and we just reported our success to the Bracer Guild. So the Bracer Guild is pretty much the main hub for us to gather ourselves with every quest and side quest we have, and it's pretty much the reason why the game is paced so well. Bracers are pretty much mercenaries for the region of Liberal, and Estelle Bright, the main character, is one of them. She's actually a senior bracer, which is an upgrade from the junior bracer that she was in the previous game. So, yeah. Before I go on with that, it's worth noting that second chapter is actually a direct continuation to the first game that was released last year on Steam. And if you haven't played the game at all and you have an interest in it, I'd probably suggest closing this window or tab right now, because there are some light spoilers here. I'm not going to go into too much detail with them, but that's worth noting. So this is a battle that we have in the world map. That pink character is an NPC. We don't use her, we just have to make sure that she doesn't die, or else the game is over. So it has the look of a turn-based strategy game, but it's really just a typical turn-based battle system. You don't have to really worry about moving your units anywhere. There are times where you'll want to move your characters out of range of an attack, but that's just simple defense. There really isn't that much strategy to it, aside from just figuring out your typical paper, scissors, rock weaknesses. So what we're doing now is part of the main story. This is early on in the game, so yes, there are some spoilers here, but it's nothing that's gonna, you know, ruin the game for you. So there's a look at the map. And we're heading east towards the Genus Academy, which is the academy where Chloe Rin studies. I'm not going to talk too much about who Chloe Rins is, but she'll be introduced in just a little bit. And then following her is Agate, who's also a senior bracer, and Olivier. He is a wild character from Erebonia. Erebonia is actually the main region in which the next game, Trails of Cold Steel, which was just released last week, takes place. So here we are in a Genius Royal Academy, and let's check out some of the story here. I mentioned earlier that Olivier is pretty wild. You'll see why here in a bit. This is actually one of the funniest scenes in the game. I was actually pretty surprised here, because if it doesn't already look like it, that red-haired dude, Agate, is kind of a badass, but early on in the game, he didn't really act like that. He was really, really mellow. And here's Sig, the trusted bird of Chloe, so wherever he is, Chloe should be near. And here we are. So the purple-haired girl at the front is Chloe, and the other two people are heads of the student body here at the Genius Royal Academy. If it wasn't already painfully obvious, this game's story is tremendously reliant on the text, so if you're one that doesn't like to read that much, this probably isn't the game for you. But if you're into Japanese RPGs, this is pretty much standard. So yeah, this is The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, number 6 in our Game of the Year list. So I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.